Lisa. I'm working on my art journal today, and I have a bunch of jelly prints that I did on Deli paper. I bought this from Amazon. It was really cheap. I think it was less than $10 for this box of 500 sheets, and this size is perfect for the 8x10 jelly plate. So, and I thought the seam in the middle that you get when you pull a sheet out would be a problem, but it's really not then an issue. So anyway, I just did a bunch of different prints here, and I'm going to do some collage work with them, cutting up some of them. My first task is kind of figure out which ones I want to use sort of in the background, and I took one of them and I cut with my Creative Memory circle cutter to see how well the Deli paper would cut, and it cut really well. So now I'm going to take some of them and cut them up different ways. So I'm just kind of deciding, I think I want this one in the background. And maybe, no, I think I'll cut that one up. Let me put some of that in the background. I like that one. Okay. So we're just going to start laying some of these down in the background. I am going to tear them a little bit in some strips, and then just Mod Podge them on, and we'll speed through this. I like Mod Podge matte. I had a question recently as asking me whether it left the paper sticky. I have not found that to be the case at all with Mod Podge. I need to do kind of a side-by-side comparison with it and some of the more expensive items like the matte medium, and which I have used, and a thin gel medium, to see if which one curls the paper more, because I suspect the Mod Podge curls the paper a little bit more, but I don't know that for sure. The thing I like about it is it's cheap and it's available everywhere. So if I run out, I can go get some at Walmart, because I don't have any craft stores in my town. The closest is Hobby Lobby in the next town over, and it's about 15 miles. So that's always a bonus if I can buy a supply somewhere else. Now when I made these, I used some stencils. I used my little comb, you know, the little combs like I don't have the ones they sell from Gelli Arts, but I got mine at Hobby Lobby that just are the little foam comb kind of things that, rubber combs I should say, that just run through the paint really easily. Now what we're going to do is trim down this paper. The design on this came from some chipboard, the leftover parts of chipboard letters, and that makes a great design in on your jelly plates. I asked in one of my other videos whether you liked music or talking, and I didn't get anybody saying they liked music. The people who commented said they liked the talking, which suits me because honestly this is easier than coming up with music, and I always feel like I ought to time the music to what I'm doing, and that would be really time consuming. So this is faster, but you will find that especially with these art journal pages, I just don't have something to say all the time. Might seem like I do, but I really don't. So you're going to find some moments of silence. Don't feel like you're missing something. It's just, I'm just trying to not talk all the time, or I won't maybe in the next one. All right, glued the circles on, and now I'm going to cut out some diamond shapes with this paper that I used, one of those rubber combs, to create kind of a stripe effect, and then the swirl effect. One of the wonderful things about Deli paper and also tissue paper is that they're so thin you can put them right through the middle of your art journal. And you have just a moment to move things around before they get really stuck down. Now we need to let all this dry, and then I'll trim the edges off the pieces that sort of laid off the edge. Now I'm taking my Faber-Castell big brush markers and doing some shading. I tend to shade so that my light source is coming from the upper left-hand corner, so I get a longer shadow on the lower right corner of things. I'm not fussy about this. These markers are permanent. Once they dry, you have a moment or two to spread the ink around if you do it on a slick surface like Mod Podge. If I'm doing direct to a paper that hasn't been coated with Mod Podge, I'll usually use gelatos or a colored pencil for shading. I'm really liking the colors on this page, and although I use the Mod Podge matte, you do get some shine to it as well. Now I'm going to do a word, and I'm going to fill in the inside first and then go over the outside with markers, because I know if I outline this and try to fill in the middle with that white pen, I get white ink everywhere. This is also a Faber-Castell pen, but it doesn't have a brush end. It has a sort of a thick end to it. And it does take a little bit to dry, and I think I left the white long enough to dry, but when I came back into the outlining, I kind of smudged it a couple times because I didn't leave it long enough to dry. On the Mod Podge, it just takes it a little bit to dry, but once it does, it's permanent. Now while that's drying, I'm going to add some white paint. And I did this first just directly out of the bottle, so I got really small little splatters. I think I would have been happier if I had put it in water, so I could have got some bigger droplets going across the page. But that's part of art journaling, is just playing. Using a Faber-Castell pen. I think this is an F size, the fine size, and I'm going around the outside edge of each letter for an outline. And then I'll come back and shade these with a gray pen, and this is where I didn't quite let things dry. I smudged the black a few times. And here's my finished page, and try to give you a few little close-ups of that. Thank you so much for watching today, and if you liked the video, I would love to get a thumbs up. Thanks again.